Hello, students. Welcome to this new session of Python. Today, we are going to study how to control overfitting. Just to recollect, we are in the last unit Python and data analytics. Now, before we try to start with what we are supposed to do in this session, just let us try to recollect what overfitting is. Now, this is the graphical diagram that shows overfitting, but let me revise when overfitting occurs. Basically, in case of classification or regression, whenever we implement some machine learning algorithm, what happens is the algorithm or the model works very good on the training data set, but when it is implemented on the test data set, then the errors are more. Here you can observe one green line and one black line. Now try to observe this green line, what it does. It perfectly classifies the red dots and the blue dots, which ideally is considered to be a very good result. But in this scenario, what happens is, yes, it works very well on the training data, but the same thing is not reflected when the same model or same algorithm is implemented on the test data. Ideally, the back line, which does not classify some of the blue dots and some of the red dots, has got some error as far as the training data set is concerned. But this works much better, because when it is implemented on the test data set, almost the same error will be found on the test data set. Just let us go and try to check. Yes, overfitting means there is a significant discrepancy. Discrepancy means difference between errors on the training data and errors on the test data, and we have studied how we can measure errors. If it is regression, we can use mean squared error, mean absolute error, or RMSE, root mean squared error. In case of classification problem, we can use the confusion matrix or the contingency table. So, I hope you are clear with overfitting. Now, what we are supposed to study today, already we have studied little bit yesterday, but we want to control overfitting. Now, how to control? There may be number of different ways, but here we are going to study it through some statistical methods, that is ridge regression. Ideally, we have studied this equation yi equal to beta 0 plus xi beta, and there can be number of xi's over here. That means there can be number of attributes over here. Now what we want to do is the difference between the actual value and the predicted value we want to minimize. So ordinary least square regression seeks to find scalar beta 0 and vector beta that satisfy this equation. But what does this argmean mean? Argmean beta 0 comma beta. Basically, we want beta 0 and beta, values of beta 0 and beta that minimize the expression. That means that minimizes this entire expression. Basically, we want to ensure that this difference is minimum. If this difference is minimum, then definitely the difference between the actual value and the predicted value is minimum, and which means that our model or our algorithm is working nicely. We try to study the same graphs that we had studied for the other regression method, best subset regression or forward stepwise regression. Now, yesterday we had also studied best subset regression and forward stepwise regression. Now, what is the drawback of this method? Yes, definitely, in finding the best subset or in selecting the best set of attributes one by one, lot of time is taken up as far as selecting the attributes to be selected for a particular algorithm or a particular model. But apart from it, because if there are, say for example, 100 attributes in an example, what we are doing with either of these methods, we are reducing the number of columns to make a complex problem a little bit simpler problem. But in this, that means we are eliminating the effect, maybe even minimal effect of some of the attributes. That is equivalent to imposing a constraint that some of the entries in the vector beta will be equal to 0. Why beta will be equal to 0? Say for example, if some of the xi's are not there, xi represents an attribute. So if xi is not there, definitely it means that this entire thing is equal to 0. That means beta is equal to 0. Now, there is another approach which is called coefficient penalized regression. It's just a minor difference, basically one and the same thing. And anyways, when we reduce the number of columns, definitely we assume certain things and we are ready to compromise that some of the attributes can be removed when we are doing the prediction or when we are creating a model. Coefficient penalized regression accomplishes the same thing by making all the coefficients smaller instead of making them 0. So, what happens? Instead of excluding xi, we keep a minimum value of beta which is very close to 0. So, if the value of beta is very close to 0, definitely when you multiply it with xi, the value is going to be very close to 0. What it means is, we are not totally eliminating one particular attribute or multiple attributes, but we are minimizing their effect on this particular difference. That means we want the difference between the actual value and the predicted value. So in that we are minimizing the effect of some of these attributes. One version of coefficient penalized linear regression is called ridge regression. The same thing we are taking it over here. Now we have taken something over here. This is basically OLS minimization problem. How is it different from ridge regression? Just few of the coefficients need to be added. One term alpha beta t into beta. Now what it means? As you can see, the difference between equation 3.15 and 3.14 is only this particular term. The variable beta is the complexity parameter for this formulation of the problem. That is what we were trying to think, that we don't make beta equal to 0, that is what we are over here, but we try to minimize them. Accomplishes the same thing by making all the coefficients smaller instead of making them 0. So instead of making beta 0, we are trying to minimize it, and that is why this plus alpha beta t into beta will come up. Now just we try to compare this method with the previous methods, the previous method of forward stepwise regression, the algorithm produced a sequence of different models. Yes, first with one attribute, next with two attributes, and so on, until the final model included all the attributes. Instead of different number of attributes, the sequence of rich regression model have different values of alpha, the parameter that determines the severity of penalty on betas. That means here there is a basic change over here, here there is a basic change over here. Normally here the xi into betas in the previous case may keep on changing, but alpha is the effect that we are changing. Now for ridge regression we try to draw the graph and we try to see what happens. As we had studied in the forward stepwise regression, here on left, that is on the y-axis, we have root mean squared error, we have log alpha. This is basically for wine quality prediction error, basically for the wine data set, and we are making use of ridge regression. As you can see, somewhere over here it is minimum, in the sense how many number of attributes we can include. We try to check one more graph. Say for example over here all horizontal lines are produced as we had discussed in the previous case. Now this is the dark portion and this is the dark portion. That means the attributes 5 and 6 are actually significant, and the same thing is revealed over here, the actual test score and the predicted test score, and this is making use of ridge regression. Remember, in this sort of graph you have to consider the dark portion wherein the actual score and the predicted score are intersecting. Now we just go to the area under the curve, ROC. We just go back little bit to one of the graphs that we had studied previously. Yes, this. Now this is ROC, and this particular portion below the curve is known as area under the curve. Now here ROC area is 0.85, but if we try to see in the previous one, here ROC curve is 0.98. That means we are maximizing the area. That indicates that the results will be better. So this area is known as area under the curve, AUC. So just let us try to check out. Yes, a value of AUC close to 1 means great performance. A value near to 0.5 is not good. Definitely if the ROC curve goes below the dotted line, once again let us check. Yes, this dotted line indicates 50% accuracy. So if this ROC curve goes below this, that means the ROC curve area, this will come down to less than 0.5. That definitely indicates that there is some error in the model or in the algorithm that is implemented. Yes, so the goal with AUC is to maximize it instead of minimizing it. That means we want to maximize the area under the curve rather than minimizing it, as it was done with mean squared error in the earlier example. Let us try to check one more graph. Now this is ridge regression, but this is for rock versus mine classifier. This is for classification example, and as you can see, the actual value and the predicted value, 0 and 1 are the dark portions over here. If you try to recollect the rock versus mine data set, most of the values were floating point values, and plot of actual versus predicted for rock classifier using ridge regression. This is done using ridge regression. So basically these two horizontal lines, wherever the dark portion is there, indicates good results. So this is all as far as Python and data analytics is concerned. Basically what we have studied in Python and data analytics is few things. Let me try to summarize quickly. Yes, we'll have revision of the entire unit, but basically first thing is data collection. Once we collect the data, then we can do statistical summary and we can do graphical summary. How or what to interpret from the statistical summary and graphical summary, and what does it tell about the data, what does it tell about the accuracy of the model, and so on. Yes, after collecting the data, we implement an algorithm on the data set, and then also once we implement the algorithm on the data set, definitely we try to perform some statistical test and some graphical analysis, various different graphs. In the last unit also we had studied, in this unit also we studied. So basically today the main topic was ridge regression and how to control overfitting using regression. Definitely the drawback of this syllabus is we are just studying the things theoretically. We are not trying to check it up practically. If we try to check up the things practically for any of the data sets, then it becomes a lot easier, but that practical portion is missing as far as the syllabus is concerned. The ideal syllabus would have been including the practical part first and then taking up the theoretical portion. So thank you. With this we end this session. Yes, we are going to continue with one more session where we are going to take the practical part.